Hey guys, welcome to yeah. Okay, let's start that again. Hopefully I can edit this video. If not, it's okay, guys. Anyways, welcome guys to Cam's Conversation and Cocktails. Unfortunately, it is 11 o'clock in the morning on a Friday. We are both very busy
Yes.
recording this for you guys. So we are not going to have conversations today. Today, I have Devon Pilkington with me from Priority Pest Services.
Yes.
So we're going to be asking him lots of questions. If there are any questions that you have for him, please let me know in the comments, and I will make sure to get those answered for you. But let's go ahead and dive right in. But Devon, tell me a little bit about you and your company.
Me and my brother own Priority Pest Services. We've been in the industry for a long time now. We have approximately about 35 employees. We have an office here on the Hampton Roads. We have two offices, one on the south side, one on the peninsula, so we can service up all the way to the outskirts of Richmond. And we do termite control, general pest control, and a ton of crawl space repairs. Everything we do is in-house, and we do not sub anything out. Nice.
I, for one, can vouch for them that they do some amazing work. They do a lot of work for my clients. But let's go ahead and dive in with some questions for him. So when should someone call for a termite and moisture inspection?
That's good. So really, you want us
outside of real estate.
Outside of real estate. Okay. Outside of real estate. I guess you'd want to call if you haven't got one in a while. And when I say a while, I would say at least a year. Because a lot of things can change very fast in the crawl space or even in a slab home. A lot of things can change pretty fast. In a crawl space, they could change where you didn't have a leak, when you first bought the house or first moved in, and then all of a sudden you have something leaking. Now you've got this massive puddle that has, taken over the crawl space, and you've got moisture, you've got fungi, mildew growing underneath the house that you didn't have when you first moved in, when you got that clear termite and moisture report, or you got that good report from the home inspection. So really, if you have not got one, I would say in a year, give us a call, and we'll come out there. We do a free inspection, free estimate, as in if there's something needs to be done. Sometimes, a lot of the time, you don't really need anything, but you might need some termite control, as in if you're not protected.
And with that being said, so as most of you know, that when you buy a home, if you have bought a home, you do have to get a termite and moisture inspection if you're getting a loan on the property. Unless you're paying cash, you obviously can waive a termite and moisture inspection, which I do not recommend. But Priority Pest does offer, oh my gosh, warranty.
Yes.
I'm like, my brain froze for a minute. They do offer a warranty. I believe it's $100 a year.
Yes.
So when you buy a home, it is required to have a clear moisture and termite letter, which they provide. When they provide that, they will then provide you a warranty that you pay once a year, and then they come out once a year to inspect the property.
Yes. And the warranty, I should say, we do not have a repair warranty. Okay, as in if the termites were to cause damage,
if they come in your year,
and we have no problem in addressing that, because the repair warranties in this industry, I'm not saying anything bad, but they have a tremendous amount of legal jargon in there that protects the company in full. Okay, not saying it couldn't happen or it couldn't slip through, but they are so well protected that you will not penetrate that veil probably. And so the only way to stay up on it, I would say, is getting that yearly inspection. Termites don't eat a whole house in a year. Okay, they might eat a study at a Virginia Tech a long time ago. They put a piece of a 2x4 by 8 feet long in a tank with like 1 million or so termites, and it took them like right at almost a little over a year to eat the whole thing, to where it had no more structural integrity. The wood was still there, but it just had no structure. So getting that inspection all the time is really going to help curve that problem that you would have to say, oh my gosh, I'm going to spend tens of thousands of dollars to fix this damage.
And I guess I should clarify that warranty that they provide, and correct me if I'm wrong, the warranty that they provide has nothing to do with a moisture.
That is correct, yeah.
This is for termites. It's just for termites.
If the termites were to come back, we do our yearly inspection, and we find, oh my gosh, there's active termites here. We come back and we treat that area for free.
Right.
The $100 covers you. If I treat it that day, and then let's say 3 months down the road, you're out there gardening and you see a swarm of termites, we're going to come back out there and we're going to treat it again for free in a different area if that's the case.
Okay, awesome. Yes. So that is good knowledge to have. I encourage all of my clients and friends who owned property or owned property before my time to make sure that they do get a termite and moisture inspection, because I have definitely had it to where I have gone to list the property, and I always get my clients to do a termite and moisture before listing the property.
And what happens in this area, we have a lot of people in the military. So they move from places that they have no clue what termite. They've heard of them, but they're just not a problem
they don't understand,
there.
Yeah.
But when you move here or you own a house in this area, termites, it's not if your house will ever get them, it's when will your house get them.
Correct.
That's the thing. So really, termite protection, termite control is one of probably the biggest things as a homeowner, because they don't sleep. So they eat cellulose, which that's the organism in the wood, and they never sleep. So they're constantly foraging and looking for wood, and that's found in the house.
I just thought of something, and he can attest to this as well. Just because you have a home on a slab does not mean you will not get termites.
That is very true, yes. There is this little piece of foam that when they pour the slab on the interior part of the house, it is to help with the expansion and contraction of the concrete. Well, that little piece of foam also has cellulose in it, and that's in direct contact with the dirt. So they hit the foam, they come up, your baseboard is hiding, the sheetrock, they eat the bottom plate, and they start coming up the studs. And
I, unfortunately, have seen this.
Yes.
Because I had a client who had to replace an entire exterior wall before we listed the home because they were not under a contract with any termite company. So
that is very true. Yes.
Learn the lessons from someone else's.
It gets
hard problem.
Yeah, it gets costly when you guys spend you never have an inspection, you never think about it, you never touch it. When you could be getting one for $100 a year, and you kind of stay up on that. That's
another point that we can make. When you purchase your home and you get that clear termite letter and you go under contract with them for one of their warranties, when you go to sell your house, you are under warranty.
That's right.
With Priority Pest. So when you go to sell your home, we can already say that we have a clear termite. If you do not have a clear termite, and correct me if I'm wrong in any of these timelines, every 5 years, you're supposed to have a subterranean
termite treatment.
Termite treatment?
Yeah.
Is that correct or no?
So it's not. It's recommended. Okay. We live in an area where we get all seasons. Okay. Right. And if you can imagine, we mix the pesticide with water. So when you do the treatment and you do the drilling and everything and the trenching and stuff like that, over time of the rain and all the stuff that we get, all the weather that we get here, it does break it down.
Right.
But you do not have to get that treatment.
If you're under a warranty.
If you're under a warranty.
If you're not under warranty.
In the real estate transactions, yes.
Okay.
In the real estate.
In real estate, yes. Let's clarify.
Yeah, in real estate. Now, just a regular homeowner, Miss Barbara, she got a treatment, this year, and then she could go as long as she wanted to. If you're staying on the warranty, you're paying $100 a year. If you did have a problem, we retreat that area for free. So you kind of you ride that until you sell the house. That'd be.
And how much does one of those run for the average size home? Because obviously
it depends.
You can't say a certain price. It's a blank. It's not a blanket number, guys.
No.
So let's just.
You have. So let's say you built a new house. Here's one. You built a new house. It's done and everything. You could get one for $395. We run that coupon, and that's for new homes that are just being built. because a lot of times, sometimes the builder will have somebody do the treatment, which they have to, but it might have been a company who doesn't do extended, the ongoing warranty.
Right.
So it was just treated that day, so you could move in. Here you go, and now it's kind of on you. Right. So we have $395, and then you get some of these big houses and stuff like that are pretty big. I mean, I've seen them go as expensive as $3,000, but you're talking about some really big, intricate built houses that you have to, because the goal is to create a liquid barrier around the entire structure with no breaks in it. So you've got all these drilling, trenching, doing this, so you can create a moat of some sort, so that if the termites come, they have to go through it before they get into the house.
And I actually learned this when I purchased my home. I was under warranty with you guys, and all of a sudden I noticed, I believe they're called carpenter ants.
Yeah.
And I could not get rid of them. And we were under a pest control.
Yeah.
And they would not go away. And it was Jamie, your brother, was like, Cameron, really the true way to get rid of these is by us doing a termite treatment, because they have the same.
It's the active ingredient. It's labeled first termites, second ants.
So I will say it worked.
It will, yeah.
I do not have ants. I mean, because I had purchased a property that was flipped. So who knows how long they were there. They had made like a little nest in one of the windows that I didn't know about. It was disgusting. I don't like bugs. Ask Devon and Jamie.
Yeah, that's right.
Anything moving should die at my house, unless you have 4 legs or 2. So everything else has got to go. Well, I guess rats have 4 legs. They need to die too.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's move on. So how does this weather that we're having finally we're getting this weather, the hot and humid weather. So how does that weather affect
just the bugs and
the
termites.
Bugs and stuff around the house, and crawl space?
Yeah. So now they're starting to come out. They're starting to forage, and insects constantly forage for food.
Right.
And I tell the customers this when they're like, I see them over here and I see them over there. They are also social insects. Termites are social. They have an entire colony. Ants are social. They have an entire colony. So they communicate and they talk. And so, you might have them bad in this corner of the house today. We come, we treat that corner, and we treat everywhere, but then all of a sudden they're back over here. Why? Because you just killed like a bunch of them, and so they tell all their buddies, like, nah, don't go that way no more. Go back over here. And so they go back over there. But they constantly move and look for food. Even the nicest of houses can have, a lot of people call them palmetto bugs. It's an American cockroach.
It's a roach.
Okay.
It's a roach, guys. Water bug, my rear end.
The nicest of houses, I don't care whose house it is, you can still have them. Why? They're looking for shelter. They're looking for food. And so, matter of fact, I won't say the name, but we do a very famous person's house here at the beach, and they love to have parties, just a bunch of parties. And they're always having a problem with ants. But that's because at the bar area, there's margarita mix they clean it up. So like all the people who are there cleaning, they're like, we clean it all up. But the problem is it would run down the cabinet. And when it ran down the cabinet, it got on the bottom of the baseboards. When you drop a drink and it hits the ground and it splashes, right? So it hits the baseboards up in there. And the ants are thriving off all the sugar. And so we were there like every week for a long time. I'm like, look, you want to save some money? You got to wipe. You just got to
wipe everything.
Yeah, just a little
clean,
bit more. Yeah,
clean.
Deeper cleaning. And they're like, we're not going to stop having parties. I'm like, no, don't say that. I'm just saying that these people dropping drinks and all kinds of stuff that the bugs are just like, oh, this is awesome.
That's heaven.
Yeah, this is awesome. So they have their shelter, they have their food, and so why are they going to leave? We can keep killing them, but they just they will continue to come.
And actually, while we're talking about that, he might kill me for doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I love these guys. But they also offer a pest service, which I encourage every single one of my clients to have, especially in this area. It's a quarterly treatment. You have an initial treatment where they come out, and he can explain that a little bit more in detail. And then every 3 months, they come back and they retreat.
Yes.
And let's say in those 3 months, you see a lot of roaches or whatever bug it may be, you can give them a call and they'll send someone out to take care of you. But if you reach out to me, DM me or comment and let me know that you watched this video and you are not currently under contract with them now, they will waive their initial pest treatment, right?
Wow, that was. I thought
Put them on the spot.
I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna say like a disc. Waive the entire thing.
What do you think? What do you think?
All right. Because since I'm on the spot, I really can't say no. All right, I say yes, and it's good.
But it has
Today's
to be
the 16th. It's my anniversary.
We should put a timeline on it.
Yeah,
yes,
I'm gonna put a timeline on it. So until the 22nd of June.
22nd.
That's next Thursday.
No, we're gonna do it longer than that. And also, when this happens,
you asked me.
I know. See, this is what I do, guys. For you, my viewers. We're gonna do it until the 30th of June, and the only way you get that initial treatment covered is when you sign up for an entire year and you pay for the full year in advance.
I like that. Okay, yeah, that's good.
See,
that's good. Yeah, that's.
I negotiated, guys. That's why I'm in real estate.
No, you bent my arm. I had no choice. It wasn't negotiation.
So if you watch this, and this is 2023.
Yes.
So June 30th of 2023 is when that offer expires. So either give me a call, shoot me a DM. You can't just call the company because that's not going to work. I have to be sure to give them your name.
Yeah, Cameron's going to be the liaison for that. So now.
So next question. Now that he got put on the spot. Does every house need a dehumidifier system, and what houses need those?
So, yeah, and that's kind of like in this, I know a lot of realtors will probably be like, you're on a crawl space and they're going to need a dehumidifier system. Yes, that is due to the fact of where we're at in the region, with the hot, humid summers, and even in the wintertime, you can still have humidity underneath of the house, even though there's no humidity outside. And the reason why you would have that is standing water or something like that is building that humidity. But yes, in this area, due to the termite and keyword moisture report, it has in there, does this house have excessive moisture? And if we see standing water underneath of the house, if we see condensation on the plumbing lines or the ductwork and stuff like that, that is excessive moisture. How do you correct that excessive moisture? Seal the vents up. A nice liner, vapor, not an encapsulation.
Right.
Okay, not an encapsulation. What I'm talking about, seal the vents, ground coverage, 100% ground coverage, and the installation of a dehumidifier. That fixes the excessive moisture part on that report. And so that is a good question because a lot of the homes today, it's humid. So we're doing inspections.
Right.
We see about an average of 1,500 people a month. The average that we see with inspections and all that stuff. So
it's a couple inspections.
It's just a couple. So that's the average that we see a month. Is the summertime comes, you get a little bit more. But the dehumidifier system is the perfect fix for that excessive moisture. Not adding fans underneath the house because all that does is draws more hot, humid air underneath the house. It's not conditioning it; it just blows it around a circle. It doesn't doesn't do much for it. Even though a lot of people have argued, well, I have foundation vents and they're supposed to ventilate my crawl space.
Right.
They do, but it lets hot, humid air in there. Ductwork is cold and the crawl space is cool, so you get this little jungle effect, hot, cold, and boom, it's going to start sweating.
Well, we don't want that.
No, you don't want that. Not when you're going to sell the house. And
I know I don't want that.
Yeah. So, you don't want that in the house. And so, really, again, that is, especially, yes, I want them to call us and stuff like that. But, and you know this, and you've probably talked to your clients about this. But if you're in the selling side, you want to get way ahead of that so that when the buyers come in, they can't twist your arm and say, oh, well, you're going to pay $10,000 for this dehumidifier system when it could have been done for $3,500. You know what I mean? And now you're on the backside of it. So
that's right.
Call us first, second, or third. Just call us.
And for people not from the area,
that's right. That's
this
exactly
area
right.
is very wet.
Yes,
and it doesn't matter where you're at, anywhere. Yeah. It's wet. We're surrounded by water.
Yeah, it's hot, humid, and some of the builders in the past love to build a crawl space that's like 13 inches off the ground. I mean, you can barely fit underneath the son of a gun. Yeah. And it's, this close to the ground, and the moisture and the humidity, it's.
Yeah, we don't want all that.
No.
So we got one more question. What should homeowners do to protect against termites and just general pests?
Yeah.
Clean your food up.
I know. Clean your house. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, just, okay, outside. I'll give you an example. Outside, it's finally getting probably nice where people want to go outside and garden. Everybody used to, or still does, put those wooden borders around the flower bed. Mm-hmm. Well, we call that wood to ground contact. And that's on the reports and stuff like that. Whether or not we're doing general inspection of real estate, you don't want wood to ground contact. Right there, yes, they come pressure treated, but once you cut it, it's no longer pressure treated on that end.
I did not know that.
Yeah, once you cut that piece of wood, it's no longer pressure treated.
New today.
And so, so you cut it to make it fit, and now, boom, termites are going to come right inside. And then mulch.
Learn something new every day.
Mulch. A long time ago, Wavy had reached out to us because there was a homeowner who bought mulch from some plant, and he poured it in his thing. He said there was termites in it and stuff. And so, can that happen? Yes. Are they going to thrive and survive? No, because unless the queen is in there with them, the queen tells them what to do. So if they don't have that queen, they're going to die. They won't know what to do. The colony will die off. But
did not know that either.
Yeah, but keep the mulch. Like, a lot of the siding comes down to the ground and the mulch goes up to it. Well, guess what? They're going to transfer from the mulch up underneath your siding. If you live on a slab, live on a crawl space or anything like that, you really need to have a good visual inspection of, I would say, 3 to 4 inches around the whole house. Okay. Cutting the grass, keep the grass low, keep the bushes, trimmed off of the house.
Which even that helps with moisture for crawl space homes.
That does. Mm-hmm. And then
having the bushes cut back.
Here's an example. Here's an example that this customer was getting ants in the second floor of the house. Okay, and so you go inside, you don't see anything. You're outside. You're treating on the outside. Well, guess what? That tree that's 5 feet away or 10 feet away from the house, there's a branch that comes over and it touches the roof of the house. And if you look really closely, you can see the ants. They go up the tree and they go across and they get on the roof and they go inside that little siding part and they go down. So you could treat around that house every day, and you'd never kill those ants because the limbs or the bushes or anything like that are touching the house. And so, again,
another thing for rats too.
That's huge. But they're social insects. They're social insects. So you're killing them at the foundation. Well, they just scoot over and just go up top of the tree.
They're smart.
They're smart. They're hunted all day long, so they know how to survive. But yeah, keeping any limbs off the tree, standing water around the foundation in the house, making sure your gutters just don't fall and has a hole at the base of the foundation where water just pools.
Sure, it's going away from the house.
We install French drains all the time. We pipe them underground, divert the water away, get it away from the house so it can flow and stuff. So really, I guess the other thing is getting a free inspection. That's what it comes down to.
And even though this is not why we're here, but it kind of reminded me of, on slab home. Yeah. If you let your water just go there at the corner and you don't divert it,
that's right.
He also can help you with the structural side of it.
Yeah,
because that hurts. I mean, it can make your house sink.
Yes.
And just because it's not a crawl. Because it's a slab, sorry.
Yep. We have a lot of sandy clay soil here, and clay expands and contracts. So the longer the water sits on it, it'll expand. And then when the water goes away and we have a drought for a month or 2 months, it shrinks up. And then it gets wetty and it expands. So this whole effect of expanding and contracting on a foundation is not good for it. That's when you get the cracks. That's when something starts giving or falling apart. So, again, we can't help with all those things. And just getting the free inspection and evaluation is good. You don't have to make it. We're not going to sit in your house for 3 hours until you make the decision. We're going to give it to you. You talk it over, think about it. If you have questions, you call us. But no matter what, you at least have a benchmark to where you need to start or correct something.
And I wanted to circle back about the pest treatment, because I had clients do this. They decided to stop the pest treatment because they didn't have any bugs anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to say that that's not smart or stupid.
Well,
but why would you continue a pest treatment for years on? Because especially this area. So if you're watching this and you don't live in our area, what people call here is the palmetto bugs or the water bugs.
Yeah, the water bugs.
It's a roach. And they're like this
big,
cockroach. And they fly. And I know not all of you watching this know what we're talking about, because I know in Hawaii we had them, and I swear they look like huge rats out there. But like here, they're like, yay big.
Like, about 2 inches.
But it's because of the moisture. Is that why they're called water bugs?
Yeah, well, they're attracted to bathrooms, wherever moisture is prevalent. And so a lot of times when we do when we do this free initial treatment.
But you don't, and actually, let's swing back about that. So, I know that we've done some other things for other clients, but when I say the initial treatment and you get it for free, it's only the extra $100.
Yes.
You're still having to pay the $95.
Yes.
Is it $95?
Yes.
Or,
unless you had like some mega mansion, but yes, generally stating it's $95.
And they also offer some other services that you may like in this area. So they also offer flea and tick. Is that what it's called?
Flea and tick,
is that all this? Is that encompassed in one?
Yeah,
or
so
is that
it's
separate?
No, it's all in one. The flea, tick, and mosquito is all done at one time every 21 days. That's when it is recommended, and that's what the label states.
So if you're near the water or have a wetter backyard, that's why you would need that, correct?
Yep. Okay. Yep. And then if the backyard was really wet, we can help with drainage and diverting water and all that stuff. So we're pretty much get you.
But I mean, they come out every 3 months. Yep. Like when I bought my house, I had those lovely
that's what I'm saying. Bugs. They don't discriminate. They will come to any house that lets them in, that has moisture and has food, and everybody is not going to pick up every crumb.
Right.
And you're not going to be able to, especially if you're on a slab and you have some moisture underneath the slab, which is very common, they're going to pop up through a plumbing pipe.
Right.
A lot of people call us because they have bad ants or they have, the roaches. So we get there and we're like, hey, look, we're going to crawl underneath the house and see what you got going on. And when you crawl underneath there, it is nothing but a jungle of insects and spiders because the moisture is so prevalent. So then we'll say, okay, you can treat them, but here's your big problem.
Right.
The crawl space is just, it's gone to, real bad. And so we will install like a dehumidifier. You come back, because every 6 months we check on the dehumidifier and service it. And when you come back, you just see a bunch of roaches and spiders just dead. They're all dried up. Yeah, they're dried up and they're dead. And then the people are like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome."
So what do you recommend? I know we talked about homes.
Yes,
but that's not all we have. We also have townhomes and condos.
Yeah.
What do you recommend for people that live in those types of homes? Because you can control within your walls and within your exterior wall. But what about?
Yeah, and that's
your neighbors.
And that happens. That definitely happens. I've seen where the in unit has the rat problem. They're the one with the tree on the house, and the rats are coming in, and they're jumping, from here to all the way down. And so this person in the middle unit's like, I'm tired of these rats living here. I want to kill them. And so we're very honest. I'm going to say, listen, your neighbor down there has a tree that's on the thing. He's like, well, I'm going to go down there and tell him. So I'm like, look, I have no dog in that fight. I'm just, y'all can argue
I'm just telling you where it's coming from.
But yeah, and we can do our best to seal it up. And we have done that to where we try to seal in between there. Now, the problem is we're not allowed to use, in those things there, you have firewalls in between there.
Right.
So you have to be kind of careful with what you use, due to the fact of building permits and stuff like that. But we can use the mesh and the wire and stuff like that to be able to try and seal them up. But again, that is hard to do. So really kind of being in
it's kind of the same with squirrels, right?
It's a squirrels, yeah, but being kind of like community, maybe y'all work it out to where you cut the tree back and, everybody can then be happy or everybody pitches in. Again, I don't have a dog in that fight, but trying to work it as a community there. Now, for insects downstairs, go to where all the plumbing lines are, and you go and get that great stuff. It can get out of hand, the yellow stuff. It'll get crazy on you, so you can be careful. But try and seal where all the plumbing lines come through. Because it's not their fault, but they'll cut the plumbing hole 2 inches and put a 1-inch pipe through it. And then that plumbing line in those those units are all plumbed on one system. So once that bug over next door hops on the plumbing line and crawls around over to here, guess what? He's going to jump in your house. And because the walls are only, yay thick. Yeah. So just trying to seal up any kind of penetrations from plumbing or wiring or anything like that comes between the units, because that's exactly how they're going to travel.
And I'm actually going to throw one of my clients under the bus right now.
I thought you were going to throw in another deal.
So I had a client, I was talking to them last night, and you guys went and you had to replace all of the insulation.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about that today. We're going to bring him back for some more information. We're already long enough. You removed all the insulation to take care of the rat issue because they were not under a treatment plan with you at the time. And now they have you all coming out. Well, she hasn't let them in the house. She's only allowed them to treat. And this is not their fault. She is only allowing them to treat outside.
Yeah, well, some people want only outside, only.
Right. And she told me this, and I wanted to jump through the phone and strangle her. Why are you going to pay for pest treatment?
You're very violent.
I know. Why are you going to pay for a pest treatment and not have the full treatment?
I agree.
But again, what's your recommendation if you just paid thousands of dollars to replace your insulation to get rid of rats?
That's the same question. That's the same question of that you're not seeing them. What should you do? Well, I've always tried to live proactive. Always stay on top of them. Always don't sleep on them, because they're never sleeping. So they're always working.
No, they're scurrying across my fence.
Exactly. So if you were to spend a bunch of money to get the attic cleaned out and everything, my recommendation would be to let us in. Let us still do these inspections. Let us do those treatments. Stay up on them, because it's going to cost you.
It's going to cost you more in the long run.
More money to be reactive than proactive. And I think that's what a lot of people live by. So, but yeah, just stay on them.
Stay on them.
Stay on them.
Well, on that note, I'd like to thank you for being here today and all of the information. Yes. If there's anything specific that you would like us to talk to, or you would like me to get him to get the answer to, feel free to DM me, text me, drop it in the comments. But for now, guys, that's all we have for you today. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time. And remember, I'm Cameron Elliott, and I'll get you moving.
Thank you.
I saw for a second.